Hello, Chris Green here with the Flood Insurance Guru. And today we're talking about what kind of crap can happen when you start giving elevation certificate credits in a contract if you're a realtor. What kind of things can go wrong is what we want to talk about. We hear from customers and realtors every day about, hey, the seller's willing to give a credit on the elevation certificate for this and that. But what you have to remember is that elevation certificates do not always help flood insurance rates. So even though you've gotten that elevation certificate back, it doesn't mean the buyer's going to go through with it. So what this could do is this could possibly leave the seller on the hook for that elevation certificate. Even though you're saying you're giving credits, if the contract never goes through, there's no credits to give. Also, it's also important to remember, as I said, that the elevation certificate may not help the flood insurance rate. The other thing that happens is, let's say a surveyor gets out there and they give you a price on the phone for the elevation certificate. The price could change if the house is a little bit more difficult in doing this elevation survey. If it's a finished basement, unfinished basement, if the servicing equipment is some different locations, then the price could go up. And once again, you've agreed in a contract to an elevation certificate on a certain price. And so things can change here, which leaves someone else responsible. So these are some things you want to be cautious about when giving credits for an elevation certificate. If you're a realtor and you've got a seller who's selling a house, or you've got a buyer who's buying a house, you want to be real cautious here to help protect yourself, but to also understand that elevation certificates do not always help flood insurance rates. They can, and many times they can change the flood zone, but actually we've also seen where elevation certificates can increase flood insurance rates. So what's important is that you reach out to someone like the Flood Insurance Guru who can look at lowest floor elevations first to see if the elevation certificate is going to make sense. Look at a private flood insurance option, look at FEMA, and see what all the different options are there before getting that elevation certificate. That way you can see if the elevation certificate makes sense. You can see if possibly it's going to be more difficult, so the price would go up and you know about it. So these are all things to look for. So if you've got questions about elevation certificates, maybe you're a realtor and you're trying to decide, should I get an elevation certificate on this property? Then reach out to us. FloodInsuranceGuru.com. Go to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, The Flood Insurance Guru, where we do these daily flood education videos. Remember, we have an educational background in flood mitigation, which means we can help you understand flood risks like this one right here. Your flood insurance and mitigating your property long term to help you minimize flood losses and flood premiums. Thank you.